You've been influencing reality all along. Every thought, every breath, every flicker of emotion. And it's not just happening inside of you. It's echoing into the field around you. A field that listens, that responds, that mirrors what you broadcast. Most people don't realize this. They think they're just reacting to life, when in truth, they're transmitting it. Constantly, but unconsciously. And when you're unconscious, the signal gets scattered, unfocused, unclear, inconsistent. The result? Life feels random, chaotic, out of sync. But something changes the moment you wake up. The moment you understand that what looks like the outside world is actually a feedback loop, a mirror, reflecting not your words, but your frequency. This is where the shift begins. Not from effort, but from awareness. Because here's what most people miss. You are not separate from the energy you wish to influence. You're woven into it. You are it. You're not shouting commands at the universe from across a distance. You're submerged in the very field you're trying to shape. And that field? It's listening. But not to your hustle, not to your grind. It listens to your state, to the emotion underneath the words, to the breath beneath the action, to the silent belief humming beneath the surface. That's the invisible current shaping everything you experience. And it's not random, it's a response. So think back for a moment to that time when something aligned just right, a moment of coincidence, a door that opened without effort, a conversation you happened to overhear at the perfect time. What if none of that was random? What if those were quantum ripples, responses to the signal you didn't even know you were sending? Here's what's even more fascinating. It's not your conscious mind doing most of the work. You can say what you want all day long. You can script affirmations, visualize outcomes, build vision boards with perfect precision. But if your subconscious is holding a different frequency, that's what the field responds to. Because this isn't about what you wish for. It's about what you expect, what you habitually feel, what your body believes when your mouth is silent. This is why some people try all the right techniques and see no results. Their conscious effort is in one direction, but their subconscious signal is somewhere else entirely. It's like trying to tune a radio station with one hand, while the other keeps shifting the dial. No clarity, no coherence, just static. The universe isn't ignoring you. It's just reflecting back a scrambled broadcast. So what happens when you remove the static? What happens when your thoughts, your feelings, your breath, your posture all begin to carry the same message? That's when the field listens. Not as a favor, not as a gift, but because you finally became legible to it. And before we go deeper, take a second right now to anchor this moment. If this message is hitting something real for you, don't let it pass. Tap subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, not just for the algorithm, but to tell the field, I'm tuning in. I'm ready to remember. Let this channel be the space that reminds you who you truly are. Now, back to the current. The goal isn't to micromanage every stray thought. That's exhausting and unnecessary. The goal is to become a dominant signal, so stable, so aligned, that even a flicker of doubt can't shake the transmission. You stop being a candle in the wind, and you become the lighthouse. Here's where the transformation gets real. When your subconscious alignment matches your conscious intention, the field responds with precision. That's when the weird stuff starts happening. You think of someone, and they call. You shift your energy, and a solution appears. You release an old belief, and life reorganizes around the space you just cleared. These aren't flukes. They're signals received, because you stopped broadcasting contradictions. See, most people live in internal conflict. They speak abundance, but radiate fear. They crave love, but carry self-rejection. They dream of success while expecting failure. And the field, it's not listening to your words. It's reading your vibration. If your body is tense, your breath shallow, your inner monologue anxious, that is the broadcast. But this is not a punishment. This is your power. Because once you learn how to send a coherent signal, a signal with clarity, strength, and consistency, the field has to respond. Let's talk about coherence. It's not perfection. It's not some spiritual performance. Coherence means alignment between your thoughts, your emotions, your nervous system, and your actions. It's when the noise inside you fades and a signal emerges. Clear, strong, undeniable. This is how you move from trying to manifest to becoming the manifestation. You're no longer pushing reality. You're no longer chasing it. You're magnetizing it. You become the tuning fork that calls the reality in. And that shift from effort to embodiment changes everything. You stop asking, how do I make this happen? And start feeling, what would it be like if this were already true? Because that feeling, that vibration, that's the signal that shifts probability. That's the signature the quantum field recognizes. And once it recognizes you, it remembers you. Because you were never disconnected. You were just misaligned. Let's go deeper now. Into the part most people never see coming. It's not enough to want something. It's not even enough to align with it. Because in the quantum field, everything is a probability. A possibility waiting to collapse into form. And what collapses it? Not just attention, not just belief, but expectation. Expectation is the needle that threads possibility into reality. See, reality is constantly offering you doors, versions of the next moment, next outcome, next chapter. But you only open the door you expect to open, not the one you're desperate for, not the one you wish for, the one your body believes is real. This is why someone can repeat, I am wealthy 100 times. But if their nervous system is bracing for bills, the field doesn't hear the words, it hears the fear. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you embody as normal. So what happens when you start normalizing expansion? Normalizing peace. Normalizing the feeling of being met by life instead of chased by it. Reality bends, not because you're in control, but because you're in coherence with a higher timeline. And here's a moment to pause, because if this is resonating, if you're starting to feel the truth of this deep in your body, make sure you're subscribed. Don't just listen and leave. Click that button, like, share, let the field know. This is the version of me I'm ready to amplify. This space is here to help you stay in resonance with that signal. Now, Let's shift into the paradox most people never understand. The more you try to force quantum outcomes, the more resistance you create. Because the field doesn't respond to pressure. It responds to surrender. True influence isn't about micromanaging reality. It's about learning how to release while remaining aligned. To breathe, trust, and allow space for the unseen to move on your behalf. That's where your power actually lives. This is the part no one teaches. Because it doesn't make sense to the logical mind. We've been taught to push, to grind, to force outcomes with relentless will. But in the quantum field, force creates friction. Effort sends mixed signals. Desperation scrambles your frequency. Because if you're still clinging to how it must happen, you're telling the field you don't trust that it can, and so it waits. Surrender isn't weakness. It's not giving up. It's letting go of control, while holding on to coherence. It's planting the seed and trusting that the soil knows what to do. Because when you stop interfering, the energy can finally move. When your breath slows, your grip loosens, your nervous system shifts from bracing to opening. The field begins to organize itself around you, not as a favor, not as a reward, but because you finally became a clear enough signal. You stopped chasing and started becoming. You stopped broadcasting lack and started living as the embodiment of enough. This is surrendered influence. It doesn't shout. It doesn't beg. It radiates. And the quantum field responds like metal to a magnet. Not because it has to, but because it can't not. And now, here you are, not the seeker, not the struggler, but the signal itself. The lighthouse. Standing calm in the storm, pulsing clarity into the chaos. No longer trying to make waves, just being the source of stillness that shapes them. And yes, you'll still have moments of doubt. Yes, the fear might still whisper. But now, they don't define you. They pass through, and your signal remains. So here's your invitation. What's one word that captures your next shift? Drop it in the comments. Let it become part of your frequency. And if this message moved something in you, don't leave without subscribing. This space is here to help you stay aligned. You're not here to chase change. You're here to become it. And the moment you do, life moves with you.